Okay, last one, science. And we're going to start with page 132, so you'll need your textbook. And we're going to look at how animals spread pollen. So look at the pictures to explore how animals such as insects, bats can help move pollen. This tall cactus has large flowers. Its pollen is too heavy for the wind to move. Bats and other animals must help move this pollen. A bat pokes its nose into a flower to sip nectar. Pollen sticks to its head and neck. The bat flies to another flower to sip nectar. It carries pollen with it. Some pollen from the first flower falls off the bat. Now seeds can form. Without knowing it, the bat helps the cactus move pollen to make seeds. Pollen is a sticky powder that flowers need to make seeds. Pollen must move from one flower to another for new seeds to form. So page 133, how does the bat help seeds form? Number each picture 1, 2, or 3 to show the correct order. Okay, please don't just do 1, 2, 3. Please don't, okay? Use what we just read on 132 to answer, to do this correctly. And I will need to see that, okay? Okay, let's look now at page 137. Right? Yeah, okay. So we're going to do the lesson check again. And this time, it says you want to add more flowers to your garden. Can bees help solve this problem? Be sure to tell what happens when a bee sips nectar. Describe what happens when the bee moves to a new flower. Explain how moving pollen helps plants. Okay, you need to have all 3 of those in there. So, what happens when a bee sips nectar? I think we learned that on page, well, the one we just read, right? Bees or bats, right? How can bees, insects, bees or bats? So how a bat does it is the same way how a bee does it. Says the tall cactus has large flowers. Its pollen is too heavy for the wind to move. Bats and other animals must help move this pollen. Those other animals would be bees. A bat pokes his nose into a flower to sip nectar. The pollen sticks to its head and neck. The bat flies to another flower to sip nectar. It carries pollen with it. Some pollen from the first flower falls off the bat. New seeds can form without knowing it. The bat helps the cactus move pollen to make seeds. So, can we do that with a bee? Yeah, same thing. So let's get your highlighter. Get your highlighter. And let's see. I don't have my highlighter, so I'm going to use a pencil. My highlighter dropped, and I don't want to just leave the camera and go. So let's highlight what the steps are that we can answer. So what happens when a bee sips? So pollen sticks to its head and neck. That's what happens when it sips the nectar, right? But remember, instead of a bat, we're using a bee. And then it says, describe what happens when the bee moves to a new flower. Some pollen from the first flower falls off the bee or the bat. Okay. And explain how moving pollen helps plants. And new seeds can form. Okay. Make those complete sentences with the bee. Right? So tell what happens when a bee sips nectar. And we can look back. When a bee sips nectar, pollen from the flower sticks to its body. Pollen sticks to its body. Okay, and describe what happens when the bee moves to a new flower. Pollen falls off. When a bee moves to a new flower, some pollen falls off. And then explain how moving pollen helps plants. So moving pollen can make seeds. Okay. And then you will do the self-check on your own. Read the chapter again if you need to. If you need to look back, and because this is a take-home test, so you've got the book right there, so make sure you're looking back and forth to make sure the answers are correct. Okay, and that's science, and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, have a great day.